Boss says, if you're 1 minute late, I'm docking 15 minutes from your time. Gets mad when I don't work the 15 minutes I was docked for free. This happened about 4 years ago. I do construction and we start fairly early. Boss got tired of people walking in at 6:05 or 6:03 when we start at 6 o'clock, even though he was a few minutes late more consistently than any one of us were. So he said, if you aren't standing in front of me at 6 o'clock when we start, then I'm docking 15 minutes from your time for the day. The next day, I accidentally forgot my tape measure in my car and had to walk back across the job site to grab it. Made it inside at 6:01. Boss chewed me out and told me he was serious yesterday and docked me 15 minutes. So I took all my tools off right there and sat down on a bucket. He asked why I wasn't getting to work and I said, I'm not getting paid until 6:15, so I'm not doing any work until 6:15. I enjoy what I do, but I don't do it for free. He tried to argue with me about it until I said, if you're telling me to work without paying me, then that's against the law. You really want to open the company and yourself up to that kind of risk? Maybe I'm the kind to sue, maybe I'm not. But if you keep on telling me to work after you docked my time, then we're going to find out one way or the other. He shut up pretty quickly after that, and everyone else saw me do it and him cave. So now they weren't going to take his crap either. Over the next few days, guys that would have been 1 or 2 minutes late just texted the boss. Hey, sorry boss. Would have been there at 6:02 and gotten docked, so I'll see you at 6:15 and I'll get to work then. And then sat in their cars until 6:15 and came in when their time started. So between people doing what I did or just staying in their cars instead, he lost a ton of productivity and morale because he decided that losing 15 minutes of productivity per person and feeling like a big man was better than losing literally 1 or 2 minutes of productivity, even though everyone stands around bullshitting and getting material together for the day until about 6:10 anyway. After a few weeks of that, he got chewed out by his boss over the loss of productivity and how bad the docked timesheets were looking and reflecting poorly on him as a leader because we were missing deadlines over it, and it showed that he doesn't know how to manage his people. And then suddenly, his little self-implemented policy was gone and we all worked like we were supposed to and caught back up fairly quickly. Worker solidarity for the win. Not one person took his crap and worked that time for free after he tried to swing his weight around on them. But obviously I was a target after that, and only made it 2 more months before he had stacked up enough BS reasons to get away with firing me when I called in a few days in a row after my mom fell. And I took off work to take care of her and monitor her for a while during the day.
I was a restaurant manager in a former life. I would travel around to different locations and train other managers on how to fix food costs, labor costs, etc. Sometimes corporate would send a new manager hire to my main location, and I would train them on everything before they went to run their new store. All of my employees at my main store would walk in, punch in, then go in back, drop jackets and purses off, put work shirts on, etc. They would then look at the lineup and jump into their positions for the day. Less than 3 minutes from the time they punched into the time they were in position and working. Had a manager trainee on one of their first, "I'll throw you the keys, this is your shift to run." Days pull all of my employees aside and explain to them that policy specifically states that they needed to punch in after they are ready to work, not when they walk in the door. I found out later that shift after hearing some rumblings from the staff, so I pulled everyone aside and told them, while that is technically policy, no one is abusing it, so ignore trainee manager's directions from earlier today. When he found out I rescinded his order, he decided to break out the calculator and show me how much labor it cost over the course of a month. My location was high volume, so I then proceeded to take his hours lost number and plug it into our monthly P&L report as a dummy number. Barely moved our labor percentage by 0.01%. You would never notice it when reconciling month-end numbers. I had to explain he just pissed off the entire staff and turned them against him for a savings that literally no one would ever notice. Ended up being a seeing the forest for the trees training moment that he learned from, so ultimately I'm glad it happened. But yeah, weigh the outcome of micromanaging your people before implementing policy. Keep your people happy. Employees are an asset, not an expense.
For more content like this, subscribe and click the bell icon. Leave a comment to suggest a story or voice/personality you want to hear. Don't forget to like the video and share it with your highly regarded friends. And remember, reading is fun.